Alright, the first thing you want to do is grab you some paper towel. And then you want to take off the cap to your master cylinder. You want to take the paper towel and stick it in the master cylinder just like that. The reason being is that when we push those pistons back on those calipers, which I'm about to show you, this brake fluid is going to rise up and it's going to come out of here. So before you want to avoid all the mess and all, this paper towel will soak that up. Alright, now we're going to do the left side. We're not going to show you the right side. Right side is identical. First thing is safety. Safety is the utmost importance. What you want to do is jack the vehicle up, and you definitely want to have yourself a jack stand. Do not do this without a jack stand. Now, just as equally important is your foundation. I'm on a nice solid driveway, so I am good to go. Or concrete will be good to go. If you are on dirt, you want to make sure you get some plywood, not particle board, plywood to set up under that jack stand as a foundation. Alright, now before you remove your tire, you got to remove this center cap. This center cap has 6 22mm plastic little caps on it. Now, they won't come out all the way. They'll stay with the cap, with the cover. But when you take them off all loose, that cover will come right off. Then you want to take another 22mm, now not no 3/8 drive, a 1/2 inch drive, and remove the 6 lug nuts and remove the tire. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is remove our caliper. Your caliper is this piece right here. Now your caliper is held on by 2 12mm bolts on each end. One right there and one up here. Now the thing with this, guys, is that when you start loosening these up, there's a slide pin right here that goes in here. This slide pin is going to spin at the same time. So let me show you. When I get my 12mm, see how I'm spinning it and the whole thing is spinning? Now there's 2 ways of doing this. One, you can get a pair of vice grips or pliers to hold that into place, or what you can do, get your 12mm up there, get your screwdriver, stick right between there just like that, and right here I'm going to pry down on the screwdriver to put pressure on that pin. Then you got to put a little pressure on it. It's still going to, there it is. Put pressure on it and it'll come right out. Now let's go down here and do the bottom one. Okay, so you see this bolt spinning. Take my screwdriver, man, that one's gonna suck. So we're gonna have to get us a vice grip or something to hold that one. Alright guys, we're gonna make it easier. I got a 16mm wrench, or you can use a 5/8. They're identical. You want to take your wrench. Now there's 2 flat spots on that pin, so you can take your wrench, put it right there, hold that into place, and hopefully this will come out and it won't be stuck or nothing. Alright, it's kind of stuck. So what we're going to do is turn the wrench till the wrench locks up against the caliper. And that's going to hold that. Okay, now loosen that bolt up. And hopefully that bolt don't break off in there, then it would suck. Go. Alright, now what you want to do now is take your caliper, wiggle it off of the brake pads. Don't let it hang by the hose or you'll damage it. Turn it upside down and let it rest on the leaf springs. Alright, the next thing you want to do is get you a wire brush. I'm going to put a link in the description below for the wire brush. There's a whole bunch of wire brushes. Nice little set right here. Your pins, your slide pins, you see right here, these pins are supposed to slide back and forth. Now if I take one out, Look how rusty that is, man. That is rusty. So what you want to do is take your wire brush, clean it up. That one's nice. Get you some of this right here, the Ceramic Extreme Brake Parts Lubricant. This stuff is great, and I'm gonna put a link in the description below on that. And what you want to do is take your Q-tip, or you can take the little brush inside. You want to lubricate that pin. And set that pin right back in there. And this boot right here, if you push it, it's gonna, there's a lip right there that it's supposed to go over. So you just keep pushing it until that boot gets over that little lip. Just like that. And that will slide back and forth just like that. Alright, let's go down here and do the bottom one. Alright, we got our pins taken care of. The next thing we'll do is take your caliper, turn it upside down like that. This little clip right here will come out. I'm going to take that out right now, put that down. Your brake pads are right here. What you want to do, these brake pads slides in little slots. There's a little slot right there, and there's a slot up here, and there's one on both sides. That's all you have to do is take your brake pad and pull it out of that slot. Take your old brake pad, put it up here on your caliper, just like this. Grab you a C-clamp. Put your C-clamp on there. Now, earlier, I was telling you about that paper towel. That's the piston I was telling you about. This piston has to push into that caliper. So what you're going to do is get your C-clamp just like that, and you're going to just slowly turn that. Now watch that caliper, watch that piston start going in. You're going to slowly turn it, and that piston is going to push right in there. And as you're pushing that piston in there, the brake fluid is rising up in the master cylinder, and that paper towel is soaking it up. So you want to push this down till it can't go no more. Let's get that back. All right, we got it back as far as it will go. So yours should look like that right now. Now Sylvia just asked the question, what happens if it don't go back? If it don't go back, you have a very difficult time of pushing it back. You're gonna have one of two problems. Either your caliper, the piston is frozen, is stuck inside, or usually, more than likely, what it is a bad brake hose. The brake hose get messed up and then claps inside, so it won't let the piston retract back. All right, we're gonna put that to the side. Next thing you're gonna do is, we got this other brake pad on the other side, and this slides in just like this one does. You just wanna pull that out, just like that. All right, take your wire brush again. You're gonna have two clips. Now your brake pad set might come with new clips. If it does, that's all you have to do is pop those clips up, and they will come out. Matter of fact, do that anyway. Take them up, both from the same thing. This one pulls down, and what it is these little, that little part right there, that sets into that groove right there and locks in place. And what I want you to do now is take your wire brush. I want you to clean right there and right there on all four corners. And I want you to take the wire brush and clean right there also, because if there's dirt right there, it's not going to let these clips set down all the way. The brake pads will go in there and they'll get stuck. Now that's the right way of cleaning it, because if these brake pads don't slide easily back and forth, they'll heat up, and there's a good chance they will cause a fire. So clean up each corner, and once you clean it, move to the side, get you some brake parts cleaner or carburetor cleaner, and you're gonna make sure you spray it real good. All right, let's clean all our parts up. All right, now we're ready to reinstall our clips. Let's take the bottom one, set it in there, and Guys, this is important too. You got those little tabs on each end. You want to make sure those tabs, like those, well, on this side, these two right here, you want to make sure they will go over that little corner and that corner. You want to make sure this clip does push down evenly. And sometimes they can be a little pain. Sometimes they can go in perfectly, just like that. The bottom one, just like dentures. I'm just looking at that commercial, man. I don't know. Alright, you want to put this one in like this.
Isn't that the top?
Yeah, the top. Yeah. What about it?
You said the bottom.
Oh, the top. Push that one in. You want to make sure it's flush. Alright, that is perfect. The next thing we do, get your brake lubricant. This part is important. Grab you a Q-tip or something. Grab you a Q-tip, because we want to make, yeah, a Q-tip. You want to make sure you get it on this and not the rotor. And here's a little trick, guys. Just put it right towards the end, just like that, because when you put your brake pad on, which I'm going to show you, it's going to slide in and it's going to push that in all the way. So let's do the 4. I gotta get some more of this stuff, man. Let's do the 4 corners, just right there at the edge on both sides. Okay, let's get the other 2 done and get our new brake pad. Alright, we're ready to install our new brake pads. Now, your inboard, this is the inboard and this is the outboard. Brake pads are identical, but they're different. Let me show you. Same brake pads, but the wear sensors are on the opposite side. This one is the inboard. So if you're on the left side of the vehicle like we are, just hold it up like this. Get your new brake pads. Okay, that one go on the inside. I'm not going to show you the inside. I'm going to show you the outside, because that's a lot easier. You get a better view at this. You got these little tabs right here and right there. Those tabs slide right into those spots right there. Now once you push this in, that brake pad should go in with no problem. If it gets stuck, you got a problem. So start off setting on the bottom one, put the brake pad in and push in. So how easy that was. Now you could take your fingers and you should be able to slide that easily. If not, do something. Clean it up. If you got a cheap set of brake pads, take them back. If it gets stuck, which means when that piston comes out and squeezes those brake pads, if this thing don't, when you let go, if this thing don't release a little bit, it's going to constantly be on the brakes. It's going to heat up and it will cause a fire, and you don't want that. So let's go over here, get the back one in. And pay attention to how I'm doing it. Well, you can't put it in, I'm going to set it up like this. You can't put it in like this. I mean, it ain't going to fit. If you fit, I mean, you good. So, and also remember to put the pad side facing the rotor. Don't put this side, it's going to squeal. Alright, so let's go over here. And the inboard one is more difficult, because you got to reach around here and you got to look and try to find it and pop right in, just like that. That's experience right there when I did that. Alright, the next thing you want to do, guys, is your clip. Let's just clean this clip up a little bit. Alright, guys, we cleaned it up. Now, the way, pay attention to how this, now what this clip does is just holds down pressure on the brake pads. You got one tab right there. Take that tab, and I already bent it out a little bit. Just bend it out just a little bit so it can stay into place. Got your caliper.
Looks like a face.
Put it in like a ghost, right? Like a ghost. Or a robot.
Yeah.
Put it in just like that. And the reason why you bent that out is so it can fit up against the back half. So it's going to fit up against that. And push it down into place. Now that you got that, bring your caliper down. Now pay attention, make sure your hose is straight, make sure your hose is not twisted or anything. So bring your caliper down over your brake pads Now you might see it won't go down. You might have to just push that pin in just a little bit to get that over. Grab a bolt, put it in, start it off by a couple threads. You want to do that so you make sure it's not cross-threaded. Then your bottom one, you notice how your bottom one won't go down in there. And that's what you do, to push that in just a little bit. Push it down. And get that one started in by a couple bolts, a couple threads. Got your 16mm wrench. In fact, let's get our ratchet. Tighten that bolt up, and let's tighten up the top one. Alright guys, next thing you're going to do is put your tire on. Start your lug nuts off by a couple threads by hand so they don't get cross-threaded. And when you tighten these up, you want to make sure you tighten it up in a cross pattern. You want to make sure, just so this rim can go flush, you want to make sure you tighten up 1, 2, 3, 4. Go like this. Don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 around, because just in case the rim don't set right and you're going down the road, the car will shake. So now that you got that, what I like to do is bring in one just a little bit, just to set that rim. And now I'll go to tighten them up. Next thing, put your little cap on. And this cap is, remember, these little things right here is plastic. You can easily over tighten them. So, you know, just be careful with that. I'm using my tool right here, but I'm going to set the setting at number 1, and that's good right there. And this one don't matter. Now, I'll meet you up at the front of the vehicle. Alright guys, this is the last step of this job. Check it out. Look at our paper towel. See, we push those pistons back, and look at that right there. Soak that brake fluid up. No spill nowhere. Now, so what you're going to do is take the towel out. You're going to cover this up. Now, you're going to step on your brake pedal about at least 10 times. Just step on it about 10 times to get those brakes to set. Because if you try to leave with that, without doing that, the car will not have no brakes. And once you do that, come back up here and refill your brake fluid. Now, the kind of brake fluid you use, just grab your cap. Look on the cap. It tells you, use only .3 brake fluid. Warning. Well, no, I should have said warning first. Warning, use only. And then, once you fill it back up, close it off, and your job is done. Alright guys, thanks for watching.